Hello everyone. So I tried filming this yesterday and it didn't come out. So I'm going to try again today. So I finished with tests for the week. I had 2 tests and a quiz this week, or 2 quizzes this week. So I was extraordinarily busy studying and got like no cross stitch done until last night. So yesterday after all that, I went out and I was going to do a little retail therapy. And I went to Michael's because they had a 50% off coupon. But while I like some of the kits, the Dimension Gold kits, I really didn't see anything I was willing to spend the money on. I just, even 50% off, they're really kind of expensive, and I don't know, nothing really jumped into my cart. There was a couple I really kind of liked. There was one that was the trees with the 2 birds and the heart with the initials carved in it. I kind of liked that one, and I may get that eventually, but I wasn't feeling it yesterday. So what I did end up getting was just some of the Charles Craft linen. Now, I have worked on better linen, but it works for me. I'm not terribly picky for all of my fabrics, so I got some of that. It's not the worst fabric. I know Lovely Array doesn't like it, but it works for me, so I got that. And then I went to Hobby Lobby. I tend to like Hobby Lobby better. Again, they had quite a few kits. They had the Sleeping Beauty Thomas Kincaid kit. I really want that, but it's really expensive, and so no. Maybe somebody will get it for me for Christmas, but I'm not holding my breath. So what I did get was 22 count Hardanger. I use the 22 count a lot. This is my preferred Aida, so if I'm going to stitch something on Aida, I generally stitch it on 22 count. I do have some 14 count. I will use it occasionally, but generally speaking, I use 22 count. I really like the look of the 22 count. This is what I will probably stitch my Heaven and Earth on. It's what all my other big designs have been done on, and I've really liked it. So I got a tube of that, and I used my 40% off coupon. So used 50% off of this, so it was $8. I paid $4. This was $12, and I paid just a little over $6. So that was great. And then I checked out their clearance section, and they had this little kit, and it's Mediterranean flavors, and I really kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of cute, and for $4 I was willing to buy the kit. I tend to usually just buy my kits on clearance because $11 for it, not gonna happen, but $4 for it I thought was pretty good. I have a lot of Italian, Mediterranean things in my kitchen, so it'll eventually go up in my kitchen. I know that's not the style as much anymore, but anything food related I'm willing to stitch and stick in my kitchen. Generally speaking, I have a whole list of different food related, and I'll probably end up switching them out as we go. And then I found this, and I hope this time you guys can see it. The last time I ended up deleting the video because it just didn't show up well enough. So this is Stony Creek Quilted Snow Day, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. I loved the whole whopping not even $3 for it, and all of the patterns are just adorable. All 4 of them are things I would totally stitch. It may take me 10 years to get to them all, but I really thought these were adorable, and I love the price. And I generally like the Stony Creek patterns, so I picked that up. The other thing I wanted to mention was I have been picking these up from Walmart. They're the zippered envelope pouches. And this is kind of what I've been using to kit up my projects. They're 97 cents. I won't say they're the greatest quality. I have one that I bought a few months ago, and I was using it for my Lizzie Kate that I'm working on, and I had the hoop and I had everything in here, and the zipper is broken. Okay, now it works. That's funny. I don't know that I would trust it, but these are kind of what I've been using to kit up the projects, and my smaller projects I leave in here. So they've been working pretty good, and I guess since this has decided to work at least somewhat, I'm not going to throw it away. So, while I mostly stitched yesterday, I did raid my stash a little bit, and there was a couple things I decided I wanted to put in my pile of to be done soon. The first one I bought a couple years ago, and I was really irritated because, so it's the Priscilla Footprints in the Sand. I love this poem, and I know a lot of people have done it, so I've got that. But about as far as I ever got it on was sorting all the floss. And I was so irritated that it didn't come pre-sorted, or even the bundles labeled, so I could at least have some ease of sorting it. I really hate when they do that. Yes, I know they've been doing it for years, and I've been sorting them for years, but the part of the reason why I don't do kits is because that annoys me beyond belief. It was after doing a couple of these kits that I quit buying kits and started buying pattern books and floss. So that, and I think it's cheaper to buy a pattern book and floss and fabric than it is to buy a kit. So I got that one out, and I'd been talking about doing some specialty stitches. I know how to do several of them, and I've done several of them because they're basically embroidery stitches. And I used to, I learned how to embroider before I learned how to do cross stitch. But I had found this kit at a thrift store. I think I've shown it before. And I wanted to do it. I didn't actually pay attention that it was specialty stitches, but I wanted to do it because my husband's family is very Irish. And I mean very Irish. They're Irish Catholic, and yeah. But I don't like the thread. So I will stitch it on linen, which it calls for 32 count, but I don't like the threads. I want it a darker green. So I've got it out. It's in my I want to think about it stack, and I think what I want to do is find some specialty threads for it. I'm not sure. It calls for one pearl thread, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 thread, or 4 floss colors, 1 DMC and 3 anchors. It calls for a specialty thread, but it doesn't use a specialty thread, which I thought was really weird. I will have to say the instructions are really lacking. Their stitch diagrams are okay, except for the Irish stitch, which what they show on the front and the diagram don't match. So I'll have to do some research on that. And the pattern doesn't match the front either, so I will have to do some research on that stitch. I've never done that one, so I'm not sure. It looks simple, so with what I'm seeing on here, it might be, I just might be overthinking it. So I don't know, I'll do a little research on it, but the first thing I've got to do is find some really pretty hand-dyed, and I want the, you know, variegated hand-dyed, and I want nice emeraldy green, makes me think of Ireland colors. So I'm going to have to do some research on that. So if you have any thoughts, feel free to leave me a comment. So there was that, and then I watched Tara C's video this morning, and I have to say she's inspired me. So I'll try and see if I have a picture of the before of what I'm doing, but I had two precious moments that I had framed many a year ago on the sticky board, and not good sticky board because they came right off of the sticky board. But they weren't ironed very well. They still had hoop marks on them, and I can't tell you, I mean, yeah, these have been done a while ago. And they were not washed very well, so they were dirty all around the hoop, and yeah, they had been bugging me for a while, and after watching her pin, I can do that. That's something I could do. So I took them off the wall. Matter of fact, if I just tilt the camera a little bit, you'll see empty frames hanging on the wall. So yeah, I've got my ironing board set up behind me, and I'm going to kind of work on that. I have a paper I have to write this weekend too, so, but, yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to mat them right now because I really can't afford to buy frames and mats right now, but I'm going to try the pinning technique. I'm kind of thinking of these as practice pieces. My husband hates them in the house anyway, so anyway, because if this works, then I could, that will give me great options for finishing these Christmas presents. So I'm so thankful she put up those videos, because I've laced cross stitch at this point. I hated it. It was horrible. I didn't like it. Yeah, it didn't go well. So I'm really hoping that the pinning works better for me. So I've got some pins. I couldn't find, I went to Hobby Lobby and they have the Sewology brand, and these are nickel plated steel, and they say they're rust resistant. Again, these are experimental pieces, so I'll have to see if I can't find the other brand that's stainless steel. But I wasn't going all over town for this today, so I know she said stainless steel, but these are the silk pins. I think she said that these were okay too, but I can't remember. But these are what I got. Joann's was across town and I wasn't going that far for a let's see if this works. I've kind of decided that if I'm going to, this is just a for now, and what I think I'm going to do is when I have the money, I'm actually going to up their frame size, because it's a series of precious moments, and someday I will get all of them done, and it's basically one for each month, so it's 12 of them, and right now I have them in 8x10s, and for one of them, it's great. 8x10's perfect size. But for the other one, the 8x10 looks very squished. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is moving them up to an 11x13 and then matting them. But I'm not going to do that right now. I only have 2 done right now. So I'm going to try this pinning thing. We're going to see how it works. sewing fabric on them to get the one that doesn't have quite enough fabric. I don't know if either one of them would have quite enough for 13 or 11 by 13. But anyway, so I'm going to try that. And I've said enough ums today. I will, yeah, the ums and me today. So, and the other thing I was going to mention is I might do a Google Hangout, and if I do, it will, I'll put the event on my, yes, my brain really not working. Paper writing is not going to be fun today. I will put an event on my YouTube account with a link to the, or however it works, to the Google Hangout. Don't know if anybody's interested. I just thought it might be fun to, you know, I stitch and watch the videos, maybe stitch and do a Google Hangout. So I don't know if anybody's interested. Again, leave me a link below. I am going to get off of here because I have cross stitch to iron, and I don't know if I'll get it pinned today, but I'm going to play with that, and I have paper to write, and I have cross stitching to do. So I hope everybody has a great stitchy day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye! Okay, so I could not find before pictures, but I am really, really impressed at how well these came out. There was a rust stain in the corner of this one. There were hoop marks all around it, and it was pretty dirty all around where the hoop was. And as you can see now, the rust stain, if you look really, really close, you can barely see it up in the corner. And I can kind of see a little bit of the dirt, but not, I mean, that's probably because I knew where it was. But no hoop stain or marks anymore. It looks so much better. And this one over here, the same thing. It had hoop marks that was dirty outside the hoop. And then it had something that I got on it right there. But you can barely see anything. And yeah, with the camera you really can't see much at all. It looks so much better. I'm so glad I decided to do that. And I really have to say, watching Tara's video really inspired me to do this. I will eventually be upgrading the size because that one looks pretty squished into the frame. If you look, it's, I mean, the flowers are sitting right up at the thing and there's barely any room of her head. But then this one looks great in the 8x10. So, but I'd like, if I were to put this one in a slightly bigger one, I could have a nice mat around it and it would look really cute, because I thought an oval mat would look really cute on that one. But that's not going to happen right now. I just wanted them to look nicer than what they did. And I'm really excited about it. For those of you wondering how I got all the dirt and the stains out, I used a little dish soap, and then I used Phil's Naphtha, which is a laundry soap bar that works great for getting stains out. I have in the past made my own laundry detergent. My husband ended up, after using it for 2 years, started having a reaction to something in the mix. So, as opposed to trying to figure out which of the ingredients he was having a mix for, we just went to using something that was store-bought and good for people with allergies. So, I had the bar of the Phil's Naphtha, and it's great for the cross-stitch because you can just kind of rub some in and let it sit. I just let both of these sit for probably an hour in soapy water, and then just scrubbed them a little bit with the Phil's Naphtha to get the stains out. And I'm really happy with how these came out. So yeah, So glad I took them off the stupid sticky boards. That's probably why they were not looking so good. So, but they're all washed, ironed, and pinned. I will say that the pinning on Aida is probably easier than linen. I didn't have to do the whole marking the thread. I could just follow the Aida. But it was, yeah, I'll say it was easier than lacing. It was much easier than lacing. But neither one of these have quite enough fabric. So they're pinned. They look good for now. But when I put them in a bigger size, I will have to do something a little different. So I want to give Tara a great big thank you. Wow, yeah, looks great, and I hope everybody goes and watches her video and tries it out. It's pretty cool.